Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're discussing Xmen97. It's come out, they released the first 2 episodes so far. One thing they also did, which I kind of thought was a cool callback, is they tried to, as much as they could, keep the same sort of opening animation. There were some slight changes because they've got characters in there now that wasn't part of the original intro, such as Morph, Bishop, because Bishop's still around. All right, so what I want to talk about, though, is there were some concerns of mine leading up to the release of this show. I'm not an animation expert, so forgive me if what I say is wrong. But I will say I'm not a fan of how they draw these characters. I just don't like the style. It's very, I know it's a cartoon, but it's very cartoonish. I like the style, the way they were drawn in the original one better. And what I mean by that is, just the way the faces look, the hair. Rogue is a good example to compare the two styles. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. But let's watch the opening cinematic. I thought it was really good. Gets that blood flowing, the nostalgia bait. I mean, it's all there. So let's watch this real quick and then we'll get into it. Okay, here we go. That music, man, I'm telling you. Love it. Now, see, that's new. They added Bishop in where before he wasn't there. You got Beast there. Okay, he's the same. Now, they're going to add some differences here in a second. I think they'll take out Jubilee and Wolverine a little bit to show more for Bishop. Something like that. I do not like how they changed this just slightly. She jumps in the air. But I think they did a good job. Okay, his staff was different. That's interesting. Now, okay, they changed Magneto's, power in there. Why do they not have Marvel Comics here? Okay. Now, granted, the older clip, it's hard to find a really good quality version of the older clip. So it's going to look worse a little bit. But, and for the fact that it was in 97, I don't think they had HDTV then. So everything was standard definition. But overall, I liked it. I thought it was a good job. Now, if you go through this trailer, you'll notice a couple of things. And this goes back to my whole style, the way they draw them, and also the way they draw women. I think they are afraid to accentuate certain features on women and make them really appear attractive the way they were drawn in the 90s. So let's look at this picture here. Here's example number 1. Okay. So this is taken from that clip that we just saw. Now, if you look at the bottom one, this is from the older intro, and this is Rogue. I love her hair much better here than I do up the top. This reminds me almost like the whole, Jim, or the old hairstyle from the 80s and early 90s. That's kind of a thing that women had back then. You got the hairband there. I mean, that again, this is pure 80s and 90s hairstyle, and I love it. I really like the way in the show it kind of flows. It's got good movement to it. I like it much better than the hairstyle up here. Okay. But my biggest pet peeve with the way they are drawing these characters, she's very flat. There's not a lot here. If you look here, you see her muscle tone. You see the abs. You see her thighs coming over. Okay, and then the obvious thing is you see the breast, right? I mean, look how they draw the breast. There's 2 defined breasts. Up here in the top pic, it's almost like she's got a uniboob. There is no definition between the 2 boobs. They're not defining each boob individually. It's like she's got some sort of cushion on her, as a breast. It's like it comes out and then goes back in, but it's all goes across. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it any differently than I already have. It's just a uniboob. It doesn't look good. She doesn't look good. And the reason I focus on Rogue, she's my Fortnite skin. She's the one I play with all the time. Well, okay, I use Wonder Woman a little bit, but Rogue has been my primary Fortnite skin. I love Rogue. I think she's a badass, strong character. She's got a great story. There's a lot of tragedy and sadness in her backstory at times, but she overcomes it. She's in love with Gambit. She's an awesome character. But she doesn't look like the awesome character here. She just doesn't. I don't like the way they drew her. It just looks horrible. I think from an animation standpoint, or maybe a style standpoint, I think we've taken a step back. I don't like, look, so if you see here, look at her face on her jaw, how it goes up, and then you see the neck. It kind of goes into the neck here. It's just kind of like they took a head and stuck it on top of the neck. It's not combined into the neck like you see down here at the bottom. And then you have the shading underneath. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an artist. I'm not an expert at these things, but I don't like this too much. Okay, and so then let's go to the next picture. And they do the same thing to Jean Grey. If you look at the original Jean Grey down here, now granted, I hate this hairstyle, so I like what they did here better. But there's no definition. And it's not just her boobs. Look at her abs, look at her stomach. There's no definition here. She's also got the uniboobs. It's the exact same issue that I have with Rogue. But for whatever reason, while I still don't fully like the way she looks, they at least gave Storm two boobs. Two boobs. I don't like the way all this looks. I really don't. This to me just doesn't look good. But that just could be a uniform issue. I don't know. But my main point is, at least they gave her definition. Why give her definition, at least in her boob area, her breast area, her upper body, whatever you want to refer to it as. But they don't do it for Rogue or Jean Grey. I don't understand. I don't know why these people want to draw things this way. And this is part of my concern. You see this in games and animation nowadays. They want to take the attractiveness, the sexiness out of it. If they can get away with making something ugly, they will. Now, they couldn't do that here because these characters already have a pre-established look and design. But I still believe that they changed the design for this show to de-sexify and take away some level of the attractiveness that these characters have. I really think that's what they did. You can't convince me otherwise. I think that's done intentionally because nowadays, if you like an attractive character, the first thing people are going to say to you is, "Oh, you're a goomer. Go watch porn. You just help set because you can't fap to it." I'm like, bitch, I'm married with 2 kids. I don't need to fap. Unlike most married men, I have sex on a regular basis. So I'm okay. I don't need to go watch porn. I still do, but I don't need to go watch porn. Sorry, dear. But you know I'll watch it. So, I just want characters to be pretty. I want them to be attractive. The same thing goes for guys. They don't have a problem doing it for guys for the most part in games. Now, this show, I didn't like the way they did Cyclops either. I like the original designs better, but my main focus is on the women because I don't really look at guys. I'm not gay, but it's a thing nowadays in the industry, and I just don't understand it. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. Like I said, I'm not an expert at this. The show itself looks like they're doing a good job so far. I'm not going to lie. From the clips I've seen, I've got it on my Plex server. I haven't watched it yet, but from the clips I've seen, I like it. The fighting looks pretty good. I'm just not big on the art style. I'm not. So I hope you guys understand. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.